Hello, everybody. There's no music. What am I doing? Hello, everybody. It's like, where's that nice little plucking on the strings? I think those are strings. Piano? I don't know. And welcome to this episode of Tales Does Tales, where we here at Tales of Initiative play through Tales from the Yawning Portal with an eldritch twist. I am your GM, Matt, and I am so happy to be telling this tale today with our delightfully daring and frighteningly fantastic cast of players. Bun, Haley, Danny, Raz, and Mark. Mark just cozying up to that tentacle, as usual. Amazing. Welcome in, everybody. Good to see you, Rah there in chat. I am excited to see what happens after last week. We left on a little bit of a cliffhanger, as we like to, and I am very eager to dive in. So, quick round of announcements. We've got sponsors. Sea Galley. They are amazing and awesome. You should go check them out. Cool links down there in the chat. I will call attention to LoreLink as you see the white light upon my face. That is me looking at LoreLink because I have been putting basically all of the dungeons stuff into their cool locations tool. So room by room, I have a separate page of notes in LoreLink that is going to be telling me all the neat little things that I need to know for torturing my players. I mean, running a safe and happy adventure for everyone. There's no foul play afoot. But it is a really cool tool if you would like to get a campaign planner tool for yourself, for your home games, or for your live streams. Who knows? Go check out the link in chat. Sign up today at LoreLink. And there's also other sponsors. We got GameStop. We got Emberwind. We got TA Maps. It's in the game. We got all the stuff. Go check them out. A trigger warning. Haha. A new message. I set up a new command so that we could do trigger warnings in chat in case raiders come in. Let them know. This game of ours features elements of cosmic and gothic horror, including unreliable narrators, body horror, squidgy, awful noises, paralysis, poisons, suffocation, all that fun stuff. So, you know, if you like it quinky, maybe you'll like this. If you don't, then maybe go over to our YouTube and check out our other streams where you can find non-suffocation based ways of dying. Yeah, lots of fun over there. Our YouTube's been popping off recently, and I always like seeing like the number of subscribers catch up to the number of videos we have, because we have a huge backlog. Vengali is over 100 episodes. We're up to nearly 60 on just the primary timeline. We've got Against the Blood Tithe, and we've got Grimace Fist over there hanging around the background. Yeah, there's lots of cool stuff over there. Go check out all that stuff.
There's a whole history of Tales of Misadventure.
Yes,
random stuff.
Massive backlog of good gay fun over there on Tales of Misadventure.
Good gay fun.
I say that because I remember specifically your Thirsty Sword Lesbians arc and just how delightful it was. It was so fun.
It was so good. I'm so proud of that one, honestly.
And then there was also really Anime 5e and all kinds of
but that one was just
craziness.
fun.
That was just silly.
That was silly. That one was like, can I come back down to the ground and punch the ground and toss I'd
like to count my fall damage as punch damage, and it's so good.
I was like, totally, it's anime.
This is anime. Everything works. It's anime.
Everything works. Anime rules.
Oh, amazing. For those watching along, we're going to be dungeon delving, which means we're probably going to be on the combat map for a lot of these descriptions. If you're familiar with this adventure at all, you know that its printed version in the Tales from the Yawning Portal book is set where north is to the right, if you're reading it. And I knew that would not help if any of these room descriptions. So if you're familiar with the way that the map looks from the book, you're going to be seeing a different thing now because I rotated the map so that north is up for all of us people. Every time I watch,
thank you for saving my sanity.
Yes, I'm saving my own sanity, and every time I watch Billy do the what was it? Never eat soggy waffles, I just die a little bit inside. So, in honor of Billy.
In Australia, you say never eat never eat soggy wheat bix. Mine was always never eat sour watermelon.
Oh, that's a good
I
one.
have sour worms.
I
But
told
I
you
love
eat
sour
Sour
worms.
worms are
I love
yummy.
sour worms.
Yeah.
They're yummy.
Yeah.
That's so good though.
Sour watermelon's
They're my
definitely
favorite.
not yummy.
No.
Unless you have made it sour
Yeah.
by putting sour on.
I'm not gonna lie, Haley. Between finding out that you don't really have Halloween, and then or like any of those other like fall customs from the Snapchat filter, and now not waffles, just wheat. What did they like regulate fun away over there? Like what's happening?
We have waffles. What are
You have
talking
waffles?
about?
Okay, just not as part of your Compass Rose anagram.
No. Yeah, just not a part of the Compass Rose. Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Good to know.
So,
Alrighty. With that said, is everybody ready to dive in? We all ready to get to, I should say delve in, because we'll be dungeon delving.
Oh, Lord, here we go. It started early.
It started early and I hate myself for it. But with all that said and out of the way, we are going to delve in and remind ourselves of what happened last time we told our tale. Our little Pebblecule wandered through the forest of Tir na Nog with Saoirse in tow. So Saoirse is meeting all of her sisters-in-law now. You met up with an Eladrin named Meander. Hopefully I'm doing that accent halfway justice. Who was able to lead you through the forests of Tir na Nog that were somewhat friendly to Winveer and Pebble and very unfriendly towards Saoirse. Seeming some strange prejudices against the Moon Mommy. And then you found a weird, like, meteorite fallen star lake with some strange water elementals. And then later on, you found some giants parlaying in the forest. You were able to fight them, rebuff them, and slay the two giants, along with taking briefly captive a drow mercenary that was watching over them. You got a little bit of information from her before allowing her to move on and wander deeper into Tir na Nog. You rested, and in the morning, it was the final stretch of your walk towards your apparent destination. You had briefly and somewhat informed Meander that you were heading towards the lost ruins of Tamoakan. Not necessarily your objectives of why you were going there, which is perhaps what led Meander to decide that you did indeed not qualify for going in the front door, and instead led you into a trap. That the earth fell away. Winnie was briefly attempted to be beguiled by an earthbind spell, but resisted it, and instead had to commit at the last second to flying after her betrothed plus sister as they fell into the crumbling darkness. Down into the depths beneath the ruined city of Tamoakan. And you are now in darkness. For a brief moment, rubble pressed in around you, threatening to feel like you might get squeezed and pinned in beneath the rock, but you have all kind of shot out into an empty space that for most of you, utterly pitch black. Windy, you're sensing your sister and fellow adventurers nearby, and Narkissa, the tattoo on your eye is starting to activate as it senses the natural darkness, your iris opening to bring in all of that barely there, non-existent light, amplifying it into shades of gray. And you see that you are in a room. Its walls are made of stucco, and it is dark, and there is an oppressive quality to the air that makes you feel like you're breathing in like dust, maybe kicked up from all of the rubble that's just collapsed in. And we are gonna go to the map. Let me make sure that it's working. Is it work? It's working! There you go! And I'm gonna unpause you. I'm gonna unpause you so that you can now start doing things. You are in this room. Let me give you some flavor text based on what little you can see, or at least what little Narkissa and Winveer can see. You are in a long, narrow chamber that runs east to west. The west end of the room is blocked by rubble, the same rubble that just collapsed down around you mere moments ago. The north and south walls have several niches cut into them, each about 5 feet wide and 3 feet off the floor. There is a domed shape that stands in the center of the room, and a stone door is set into the eastern wall with detailed carvings that are too obscure to make out at a distance. What do you do?
Dancing lights on.
I was gonna say, yeah, literally,
Yeah.
Winnie's waiting for lights, so she's like got her eyes closed as to not
Yep. So you
get
get
blinded.
3 lights. Boop, boop, boop. There you go. There's some light in that
Yeah.
room.
I get 4
I-
lights.
Oh, 4 lights.
Would
My
like
bad.
to turn into a giant wolf spider. I will be able to see.
Excellent. Let me get you your spider token. Swoop.
Spider. It's like a deep green coloration, and then like the where the face would be, like where the eyes would be, it kind of looks like a white skull mask sort of situation.
Ooh.
So
pretty.
you said on the left side is rubble, so this is all rubble.
Mm-hmm.
All right, beautiful. I'm just flying around / clearing the map. Well, it looks like we're stuck down here.
So it would appear.
The
I get
door
my
of
hands
this
on
side.
Leander, I'm gonna kick his ass.
Yeah, I saw him watching us as we were falling. He gave me a look, didn't he?
A little bit. It was a meaningful look. It was sort of a, in the moment you interpreted it as being this like, you could stay or go. It's up to you.
Yeah. But that magic that sent us down, that was from Meander.
You definitely get the sense that he was involved in what.
Yeah.
what
Either it was a
transpired.
trap set or something previously there, and yeah. Cool,
Yeah.
cool. Just making sure that was the vibe I was getting was the vibe I got.
Yes. And pay no attention to that little purple swirl. That's just me granting myself vision for the purposes of
Mhm.
audience at home. It's not an enemy sneaking up on you, I promise.
Are there
Oh, good.
anything in the notches?
Yes. Which one do you want to look at first?
I guess I started with this one.
Okay. Let me look at the map. I've got labels on it. As you get closer,
Southwest.
you can see that inside of these niches, and Narkissa, as you move closer to that sort of dome in the middle, you are seeing that these are filled with little like dioramas, little people and animals that are loose and like figurines placed on there, about 6 inches tall, that appear to be made of stucco and are realistically and brightly painted. In the one that Winnie is looking at, you see a scene of warfare. There are 2 sides with 10 warriors on each side, and little figurines are painted red for one side, black for the other, and they are locked in combat in this scene.
Are they like loose, or are they like carved into the stone, or?
The little figurines are loose. You could pick them up if you wanted to.
I pick up the leader of both of them and then I sit them side by side at the front, hands touching, and I leave them like that.
Okay. Is that still in the niche? You just moved them around inside the
like,
diorama?
Yeah,
Okay.
I just moved. Yeah, I just moved them inside the diorama. Now they are holding hands.
Amazing.
History has been updated.
Yep.
I love it.
Okay.
That
That-
makes me
yeah.
happy.
Seems about right.
And then I move on, not saying a word to anybody. If anyone else goes and follows up. But that is in there.
Matt, can I have the vision, please?
Ooh, yes. Do you not have the vision
I have 60 feet of dark vision.
of dark vision?
Anyone
Ah,
find anything?
my bad.
I found another
As a puja.
diorama over here.
Yeah, I'm about to climb in this diorama and just knock everything over.
You should have it on that guy,
Should?
on your spider. Let me make sure that you have access to the spider.
That's fair. I'm like, let me refresh it too.
Configure ownership.
Sometimes.
Merrick, that tickles.
I wasn't seeing what y'all were doing, and so now I'm just hearing that. Like, what the fuck is going on?
It's just because Merrick entered the same square as that I'm in, and I made
Yeah.
a joke.
I don't see you there.
I'm standing on top of you.
Oh, well, that's usual. Like,
You should-
nothing new for us.
Raz, does everything look dark to you, or does it look?
Yeah.
Is it like black to where you can't see anything?
Everything is darkness.
Oh no!
Mine's
What the heck?
mine's all in black and white except for where the dancing lights are, which is just blue.
Everything's
Yeah, I don't
dark.
see Winnie.
Yeah.
Because I'm
Mine.
standing in the dark.
If you are, here's the thing: if you don't have dark vision, you won't see anyone
Aha.
that is outside
There
of
we
your
go.
dancing lights.
Okay.
Yeah, I was literally
Can
just
I-
standing here. I don't know if you
Okay.
can see me with the dancing light there, but that's where
No,
I
I
moved
can't.
here.
Can
You
I
literally just like, hold
use
on.
a torch?
There was a foot above my head. Come here.
Can I light a torch, please?
Yeah,
I'm gonna give it to
same.
Pebble first. Pebble said you're lighting a torch.
Oh, sorry.
No,
Yeah,
that's okay.
sorry.
Are you using like flint and steel?
Yeah.
Roll me a d100.
Oh, okay. Oh god.
Um,
We all fall quiet.
36.
36. You like try to light it, and you're seeing the sparks come off, but they're real dull, and they're this like ruddy red color. It just looks a little bit different than when you've used your flint and steel before, and the torch is just not catching.
That's super weird.
You can try again if you want.
Could I try and use Druidcraft to get it?
Is one of the modes lighting a fire? I just want to double check
You
that.
instantly light or snuff out a candle, torch, or small campfire.
Dope. Yes. So you are able to do that.
Oh, I do it on Pebbles. I can hear Pebbles struggling. I see them in my mind's eye in the
Nice.
dark.
Here, I'm trying a new.
And I reach out and I just on Pebbles.
Trying a new spider token for Saoirse. So
Oh yeah, that's fair.
in just a second, hopefully this will work.
The dancing lights are just traveling around the room trying to find the best
Trying to
positioning.
find people.
I know.
Everyone's hidden.
Lyric is literally just.
Shit.
Marco!
Marco.
Hello.
Where are all of you? Hold on.
I think they look cool though. Like
Okay,
the
Raz, how
dancing
about that?
lights look really cool. Hey, I can see.
Yay! Okay, so
I can see.
the problem was that it was marking you as an NPC, not a PC, and so I think it was changing like the
Oh.
way that your vision worked completely. Okay, and then Pebble,
Gotcha.
because of the Druid craft, when he does the little gestures of magic, and it immediately springs to life. However, you immediately notice that this
No, thank you.
torch is not as bright as you would like it to be. It is this ruddy red color, and it seems like it's really only like at half effective distance. It's like sputtering as the fire is just like seems to be fighting to like stay lit. And as it's lit, you're now noticing a bit more of like the room and that air, the dust that you thought you were breathing in that was like making breathing a little bit difficult. It at this point it probably should have settled. Like the rock collapse in was a little while ago, but that thickness, that grittiness to the air, it's kind of itching your throat, is still there, and you're noticing that there is this dull amber fog just filling the entire space.
Well, we don't have much air down here by the looks of things.
I want to
It's a
look
magic
at all
thing.
the dioramas. No, look at them all.
I'm supposed to tell you that our name tags are
I'm
incorrect.
noticing it now. God damn it.
That's hilarious. Wait. Oh,
Meander
Yeah.
is
I'm
still with us.
Meander.
Raz is Meander right now. I'll fix it.
Well,
Busy yourselves with dungeon crawling shit.
Well, I just decided to come down here with you guys and just
We find
Think
out that Winnie
around
actually
here.
bagged up
Just to get an
Meander.
ass kicking.
Yep. Amazing. Okay, so
high noon.
What's this thing here in the center again?
In
All
the
the
center?
dolls.
Yes.
yes, it is a dome. You've not inspected it before, so I've not read you the flavor text, but I can do that
Okay.
now.
Oh, I've been waiting.
We are
Can-
absolutely inspecting it. I'm sure.
Mhm.
Narcissa
give.
is-
Gib.
I've been waiting.
We are
By it this
inspecting
entire
everything.
time.
Bun has just been patiently waiting while I've been fumbling with fucking Foundry assets. Oh, Raz, your name is almost in the right spot. Here it is.
I'm a good little
We
kid.
are professionals.
Oh.
Update.
We're doing great.
Nailed it. Everyone's name is proper.
So
And now I can tell you what's in the dome.
There we go.
The dome shape is a small alcove protected by like a half dome. So think of like full dome and then like it's been cut away to allow you to look inside of the alcove. The open end is facing towards the door in the eastern wall. So like imagine Narcissa, like the door is behind you and you are facing into this alcove. Inside the the alcove is set in a recessed, shallow, tiled well about 1 foot deep and 10 feet wide. The alcove itself is about 4 feet high, so it's like kind of like raised and then deep again. Inside the recessed alcove is a diorama depicting a hunting party of warriors dressed in feathers and deer-hide garments. They are hunting on a mountainside. One group has brought down a stag with the aid of a dog, while another is cleaning a small mule deer, and others have cornered a panther with their spears. There is a scout watching the panther from an outcropping above, and the scout's figurine actually holds like this little flint dagger in one hand and this metal staff with a loop on its end in the other that looks sort of like a shepherd's crook.
Hmm. Can we do a history check to see if there's any meaning to this for myself and Narcissa?
Yeah, give me history checks.
13.
Woman. History. That is that's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. The filthiest of 20s. Excellent. Narcissa, you're thinking that this is likely these niches, this alcove, these dioramas are likely how we would think of like a museum almost. This isn't uncommon for certain areas, ruins and like shrines to have areas devoted to like the retellings of histories and the memorializing of events and things. It seems like most of these are this sort of like platonic ideal of like tribal life and like activities that they would have done. So like you're seeing like the one that Winnie looked at, the sort of like tribal warfare, war between different clans. Now you're seeing like hunters out and about harvesting, meat, being able to bring it back. The one thing that stands out, I would say, to Narcissa is that like this little figurine of the scout, the shepherd's crook, there's a weird bit happening at the bottom of it that is a little bit unusual, and it's also odd to you that it's made of metal rather than like wood or stone or like other natural materials that the other stuff is. So I'm actually going to show y'all the image of this little scout figurine. Show players.
Give.
Oh.
Oh,
Ooh.
that's a key.
I love
That's
them.
a key.
That looks like a key.
Narcissa immediately like that's a key. Takes the little figure.
But before you touch things, my darling, perhaps check to make sure it is not trapped.
I check to make sure things are not trapped.
Right.
The walls aren't
Did
tripping
I
so
make
far. I
statements?
say, like holding up a couple of extra figures in the next window.
Ooh, you've moved on to a different window. Narkissa, give me an investigation check. I would say with advantage because of your Dungeon Delver feat. And then, ooh, Winnie, you're looking in that niche just right to the south of the alcove. This display depicts the creation of the world. All of the statuettes are these stylized and very obviously non-human entities. There is a god adorned in green Quetzal feathers that is mixing what looks like ashes and blood to form sculptures of 3 individuals, smaller and each sort of like the platonic ideal of masculinity, femininity, and androgyny. There are 4 towering figures painted red, black, blue, and white that are standing around a fire that are all committing ritual self-sacrifice with their daggers. 2 smaller figures are ringed by the 4. There is a modest, pimply one that is being consumed by the fire, while this sort of like hunched over and wilting, like crowned snail figure is cowering in fear. That's what you see in that display.
I take note of the order of the color of the towers,
Yeah.
and then I move on.
So there's red, black, blue, and white. And then Narkissa,
I
what'd
got
you
a
get on your
23.
investigation? What?
23.
23. God, that's a really good check. What I'm gonna say is that you're not seeing any like tripwires, you're not seeing any like pressure plates or anything like that. You're not seeing any mundane traps. There's a weird like tingles at the back of your neck kind of feeling when you're mucking about with some of these like little statuettes in the diorama. That makes you think that maybe there's magic at work. Like you can't detect magic, but you've got that like that sort of sense of things, that innate sixth sense of like, ooh, something might be going on.
I am sensing some magic afoot. I do not know if there is magic here. If I'm getting the heebie-jeebies. There is no mundane trappery work. So I am now frozen, holding this statuette until I am confirmed that there is magic or not.
And I will
Can
say, as you are examining it, the that metal shepherd's crook is independent of the little scout statue. You could take that crook away from the scout.
I need to first have Magic Wife check for magic.
Sure.
You know what's great about Magic Wife? I don't have detect magic. I have
Did you
Arcana
say that out
knowledge.
loud?
God.
Did you say it out loud?
Yes,
Did
you
say
know
it out
what?
loud?
She'll be
Let's
like,
do a vibe
there's
check.
magic afoot. And Merrick's just going to be like, I see. And then just kind of give a
Neat.
blank, like, lizard blink.
Your shot will crawl
I
back
literally
out
had the
of her
picture of
spider
your
skin.
tongue just coming out and like.
No precipitation, no detect magic.
Saoirse
What
will
are
crawl
you?
back out of her spider skin. Okay, it's okay.
War,
Okay, you drop in the
Wizard.
spider shape.
my love.
Yeah, it's like
I
it's
cast
like she
command on
molts.
it to tell
kind
me
of.
its secrets.
Amazing.
And then I will cast detect magic.
Hallelujah.
Sister-in-law coming in clutch.
I'm like,
Sister-in-law coming in
wait,
clutch,
did
yeah.
you say it out loud? I need you to say it out loud so that I'm not metagaming.
No, Narkissa
no,
said it
you're
out loud.
fine.
Yeah, you're all good.
Yeah.
You cast
Okay.
detect magic. I would say that you immediately sense from the vast majority of the little figurines in here, transmutation magic.
Transmutation magic.
And there's a subtle sense of abjuration magic coming from like the floor.
God, I hate that.
Notably, no magic whatsoever on the door. No magic whatsoever with like this fog that's in the room, the amber fog. And
Okay.
no magic on interestingly enough, the figurines that were in the niche that Windveer just looked at. None in there. Those figurines were all normal. Oh yeah, we're thinning that veil. Things get
I
creepy.
will relay this to everybody in the room. Watch out for the floor, it's a little bit scary. And also there's some transmutation magic going on. It's a little spooky.
When he looks at the floor for the first time.
The floor seems normal, just seems made of stone, worked stone.
Cool.
With that in mind, can we just get a closer look at all of these little figurines that have been marked as transmutation magic?
Mm-hmm.
Just give it a quick study over.
Would you like to? I would say you could make an Arcana check to figure out what this
It's
transmutation
in
magic
the
might
Arcana.
do. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's good. That'll be a 26.
26. Very nice.
She just needed it pointed out, and then she
Yep.
could be like,
Yeah.
the book knowledge, it's
The-
there now.
Yes.
The runes you're looking at. So like specifically, you look over these little statues, and like there's not any like runes on their surfaces, and they're painted so well, and they're just like very detailed. But then when you look at their feet, there's this little bit of a like, you immediately think of it as sort of like an animation rune that makes you think that like if it's put into contact with that like low level abjuration on the floor, then these will embiggen and spring to life.
That's crazy.
That was my first urge, was like, I bet you if I put it on the floor, it'll do something. And
Yeah.
then think about it and be like, I should not do that. As
Do
a
you
matter of
want it
fact,
to
we're
do
going to tell
something?
everyone. I want to so badly.
I will also
Are they
Oh.
friend?
I'll also do a slight amendment and say that it's not just transmutation. There's the barest hint of Saoirse, maybe the reason you didn't catch it initially is that it's almost not there, but with that high of a roll, the 26, you're also noticing this small little necromantic glyph that is on the bottom there that you think could be like the way that it's being animated is by actually like calling a spirit from the beyond to fill the container and move it around.
That's spooky.
I thought it was if you put it down, it's just like little tiny guys.
I
stabbing
know.
rifles.
It's not small
No.
soldiers.
That would be so funny. These guys
Now-
just follow us around the dungeon.
Alright.
I was gonna say, does this mean evil? Does that automatically mean bad?
Not necessarily, no.
But we might be seen as unwanted.
Well,
That's
I'm
true.
quite certain we're unwanted considering how we entered this location.
Yes.
Narkissa, have you managed to check the door yet?
Not yet. Slowly
Can I
just
help?
taking the metal, slowly taking the metal thing so that this way it's the metal key question mark.
As you take that little metal shepherd's crook out of the statue,
I hate it when
you have it. Nothing else.
As you take
But-
it out.
Nothing happens. Give me a moment. I need to recover emotionally from this.
Now, is it the same size? Like it's an itty bitty little tiny crook?
Yeah, it's the same size as the statue. Like it's an itty bitty.
Luckily, I got fingers to work for fine details. Also, wife, can I please have some of these little figurines
No,
for research?
no,
Please?
No.
Please?
No, we're
Why
leaving
not?
them here.
Can I draw pictures of them at least?
Yes.
Okay,
You
we're
may.
gonna need just a little time then, so I can draw
I have
pictures.
no
Door, Narkissa, door first.
Okay,
please.
waddling over to the door very carefully, just like testing out each like thing before I put my foot down,
Yeah.
just in case.
Give me a
Just in case.
Give me a perception check with advantage as you're looking at that door.
Do, 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 do.
I'll move you over.
That's gonna be a
there.
nat 20
Ooh.
Fancy.
for a 22.
Moving over to that door. Bip bop a doop. Zip zop a zoop. This door is carved with a sun symbol and appears to open into the room that you're in. There are hinges on this side of the door and scratches along the floor that sort of make it look like it opens inward. There's no visible lock or handle. although there is a slight gap that stretches across the top of the door. There are 8 holes that seem to have been bored into the door, like 2 rows of 4, like vroom, 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 like that. Each about an inch in diameter, but when you look in there, you can't see anything. It's just pitch black in there. The door seems to be fairly thick. The lintel is arched with a keystone at the top. And for imagining all of this place, most of the hallways and like the doors and archways are all these corbel arches, so the false arches, so they sort of like ramp back up to a point where a keystone is then slotted in. And but as you are looking at it, Narkissa, you're sort of looking around, you're like, these holes don't feel very like lock and key to you. The hinges, like this door is locked, it's not budging, it's not moving at all. You feel fairly safe like testing it out a little bit. The only thing you can think is that there must be some sort of hidden key slot around here, because you saw that little crook and you were immediately like, ah, that's a key. So where does this go? You try it, like those little holes don't really work. It doesn't fit into those. So you
Well, it's teeny tiny.
looking around, you do see that beneath the keystone, that slides away and there is a keyhole hidden behind it.
I found the keyhole.
Does it
Is the
fit?
key
now.
in that one? Yeah. Jinx. Same brain.
And
Matt.
using that little key from the scout statue, just like using the jaggedy, weird bottom end, and then the hook is your little turning point, you are able to unlock the door. You hear a satisfying little like clunk as it unlocks. What were you saying, Raz?
Yeah.
Can I just like grab a handful of figurines and put them in my pocket? Stealthily. Stealthily.
You can just stealth check. Yeah, give me a sleight of hand.
Okay.
I feel like Winnie
Which-
out of the corner
which-
of her eyes,
which
just
ones-
giving her a thumbs
Okay,
up.
hold on. Which one? which crush are you?
I
at?
am
You're
in
at
front
the-
of the one I'm in front of.
Okay, so let me describe which one you're standing in front of.
I
There
love
is
it.
you see an altar atop a tiered pyramid, just like the structures you saw in the ruined city above. This like very large, tall pyramid. There are like 7 sort of common folk are bringing offerings of gold and jade, and then before the altar there is a priest handling this like massive serpent that's sort of slung around the priest, and the serpent is actually like a separate little like the wood sort of like carved to where it like can wiggle a bit. It's a little separate statuette that's draped over the priest's statuette, and then around
I do fidget
the-
toy guys.
around the priest are 3 more like warrior figures that are with spears and shields. Each one is dressed in a different garb. One is in a wing. One looks like a winged serpent holding a spear. There is a bear with razor claws, and there is a coyote holding a torch.
Okay.
So, any particular
definitely-
statues you're grabbing in specifically,
think-
or are you just grabbing at random?
I think very largely like central figure, you know, like because the
Mhm.
snake caught my attention for sure. So I'm like scoop up all the animal looking,
Okay,
all the animal looking things.
nice. So
I
yeah,
rolled an 18.
18. I think that's gonna be higher than everyone's passive perceptions. So no one notices you abscond with the priest, the serpent, and the 3 tribal warriors.
Do
Yes.
we know were the ones in the nooks, they weren't magic, right? And only the ones in the center were magic?
The ones in the niches were also magic.
All
Oh,
of
they
them
were
are
also magic.
Yeah.
Okay. Beautiful. Sorry. I think I just
The,
misheard.
the only
What
ones
kind
that,
of animals?
the only ones that weren't
they?
magic that really like
There's a
stood
bear
out.
man and a snake with a guy.
Yeah, the winged serpent with a spear, a bear with razor claws, and a coyote holding a torch were the warriors. And then there was the priest
The
with a
priest with
serpent.
the snake.
With the snake, yeah.
The only statuettes that didn't appear magical, that was like kind of like, huh, weird, were the god ones, the ones that were in the creation story that Winveer was looking at. That was
That
the
makes
only
sense.
niche.
I just heard you. I heard you say that the one in the window that Winveer was at wasn't magic, and my brain just went, "Oh, the ones aren't magic in the windows."
None
None of them are magical.
And that was easy to tell because all of the niches and the alcove all had these like pings of magic coming from them, except for that one. That one was completely empty.
Okay.
Is there anything in this one?
In that one, you see several commoners are engaged in various crafting activities, weaving rugs and baskets, carving totems, making pots, and there are grinding stones for weapons and making clothes. So it's this sort of like river farm scene where people are crafting things out of the land around them.
Cool.
Time to start sketching.
We're
How-
going to be here a while.
How much time do you want to
Curious.
take to sketch stuff?
Oh, Anarchist is going to take as much time that it needs to in order to sketch all these, since she's not allowed to have a figurine. She's like, I need to write these for research and history purposes.
Nice. In that case, give me a dex check. And if you've got like drawing tools, you can add proficiency or something like that. But otherwise, just regular old dex.
That's another nat 20
Woo! Okay. So give me a
for a
d4.
23.
Give me a d4.
1.
1? All right. So that only takes you 10 minutes to get a decent sketch of one of these little like dioramas.
So it'd take me about an hour to get a decent sketch of all of them.
If you wanted to stay and get all of them, it'd probably take you about
well,
an hour.
technically 5, because one of them is like completely empty now.
one of them has all of these
I
people
have no
bringing
idea.
gold and jade baskets to like this altar on top of a temple, and there's just no one on top of the altar.
There's
Just like,
nobody on the
who are we worshiping? Who knows?
And the battle one is kind of odd with the two leader-looking
Yeah.
guys holding hands at
Yeah.
the front.
holding hands.
Wait, guys, before I sketch these, did you mess with any of these?
I say, yeah. And that's it.
Definitely not. I've never touched any of them. What are you talking about?
Pebble, are you where are you working at?
Yeah, I'm just looking through the
Are you
ones
just
that-
going through all the niches to like take a look at them?
Yeah.
Okay. So in that niche, you are seeing again 12 sort of like regular folk. They are planting maize and harvesting wheat, and you see 5 warriors standing guard while a priest in a bird costume is like doing a blessing ceremony over the fields.
It's cool.
Yeah, I don't touch anything because I take what Meander said to heart. I'm like, man, it would really suck if people just came to Jotunheim and stole all my stuff.
Moving over to the other
Sure.
one, the one that is
Because Meander just dropped this in here.
the one that's basically north opposite of the one that Winnie started with from the war scene. This is a river scene where there are a bunch of commoners that are all gathering rushes, throwing nets for fish, and carving a dugout. Did Winveer share like the contents of the creation story niche with everyone? Okay. Pebble, give me a history check with advantage.
I'm not smart.
I feel like as she was like walking up to it, she was describing the scene out loud. And when she'd finished talking about the battle, and then she goes, but they're friends. And that was the end of it. So like, so that's as much as you know now.
That's a 3.
3. Woof. I
Just
will
be glad
with
Edie's not in
advantage?
this room. That's all I have. to
Yeah,
say.
Was that
with
with advantage?
I rolled a
Yikes.
6 and a 5, and I have a -2.
No, no.
I'm
so,
not smart.
so what I'll say is the only thing that catches your eye, or like that tickles your brain a little bit about the scene in that middle southern niche, that is like the creation story, is that the figures that are the red, black, blue, and white are all done up to perspective that would make them look like giants compared to what are meant to be like the 3 humans in the figure. So you're getting this idea of like that sort of like the god in Quetzal feathers is making humanity out of this blood and ashes, and these 4 like giant figures. I'm saying giant in terms of size, but I think that like in Pebble's mind, it would immediately start like they look humanoid, like 2 arms, 2 legs, vaguely like bipedal, like same human shape, but just way friggin' taller. So like it's kind of tickling like, are these giants kind of a vibe? But you don't know anything beyond that.
Oh, that's why you love this place. That's why this place likes you. I love it.
But yeah, you've unlocked the door. What would you like to do now? Doing your are you taking time to do all of the niches? Are you sketching everything?
Yes.
Okay.
We
hold
have the
on.
door now. We're not suffocating for oxygen anymore.
That
You know
we're
you're-
aware of.
Just die on the floor.
When the doors open, does the fog continue in the other room?
You've not opened the doors
Great.
yet, but I will say is that as Narkissa is sketching, she's through to like the 4th niche when that sort of like scratchy itch in your throat. The dice have decided to be kind to you. All of you lose 1 health to poison damage.
How dare.
Uh-oh. I'm so close to poison immunity.
So close.
But yeah, you are now at this point sensing that that fog, that amber mist, is definitely poisonous and is going to keep causing you problems the longer you stay in it. So do you want to keep
Okay.
doing those niche sketches?
Door.
Mhm.
Are we moving along, bud, or are we staying in here?
No,
You wanna
I'm opening the door to see if it helps without
Okay.
the smoke.
You can open the door. You should be able to click on the
That's-
door and it'll open. There you go.
Okay, opens door.
Open the door. Let me.
Is there still more?
First thing right off the bat, still more of that amber smoke. It is not filtering out. It is all up in this hallway as well. And you immediately see
Am I
the
able to
hallway.
do-
Damned.
You able to
Am
do
I
what?
able to do some sort of nature and or survival check to determine the breathability and how bad it is?
Yeah, you can give me a nature check.
Because I want to know if I know what these spores are. Probably not. +6. No. 15.
15. It is absolute. It is just poisonous gas. It's like
Yep.
somewhere down here, this construction, this tomb, this whatever this is, has clearly run into some sort of like gas pocket beneath the earth, and is just slowly filling with this gas, or not, maybe not slowly filling, but it is filled with this gas.
So it feels like it feels natural rather than
Yes.
magical.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
It is
I
naturally
let everyone
occurring.
know that there is poison gas, naturally occurring poison gas surrounding us.
And to
We probably shouldn't relax.
and with that roll, that's good enough to understand the level of toxicity. So I don't know how to translate this into fantasy speak, but in meta speak, every hour you are in this fog, you will take 1d6 poison damage.
That's
All
not
right.
terrible.
That's not bad. I can
Um,
do 2 more.
do
sketches
I-
real
do-
quick.
Can I tell if we can heal in this poison fog? Can
You
we
can-
regain hit points with a short or long rest?
You can, but you're taking the damage of that rest while you're resting.
Yes.
So like, we
Yeah,
finished
yeah,
a
yeah,
long
yeah.
rest. I'm gonna roll 8d6, and you
8d6.
that is from your max
Yeah.
health. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just saying for emergencies.
Yes. You could take a
then,
short
like-
rest and try and like heal through the poison damage for that hour.
Yeah, especially if we've got like slight higher dice, you could just
Yeah.
roll the dice and see what
Mhm.
happens. All right, awesome. Let's go.
With the door
Mhm.
open, can I divine sense? Like I'm gonna stay like mostly in the room, but like look out
Sure.
as well.
You use your divine sense. That's just undead, celestials, fey, fiends, right?
Yes.
Nothing pops off.
Oh, I can sense anything affected by the hallow spell or know the location. And can detect good and evil.
Gotcha. Yep. None of that. And I will say that flavor-wise, the stone walls of the corridor ahead are carved to resemble stacked bamboo logs. So like each of the walls looks like a pile of bamboo logs stacked up high. The passage slopes down from where it's leaving this room that you're in, and there's just this light slope downward, and it starts to turn to the left.
Hmm.
And I'll say that
Kisses legs.
Pebble, as you leave and
Stitches.
looking back over your shoulder, you can see that the lintel of the door that you just left has been carved to represent a stylized cavern entrance. So it's like
Oh,
looking
that's
back at like the entrance to a cave.
That's cute. That's cute.
We're going to recast Dancing Lights, this time as a medium dude.
Okay.
So I only have to carry one.
That
No,
doesn't
it
change the
doesn't.
amount of light that it gives off, right?
No, it's still one medium dude
Yes.
at 10 feet, but it means I only have to deal with one light instead of many lights moving
Valid.
around.
Yep. I'm just gonna delete all but one.
Mhm.
There you go. You should just have the onesie. Pebble's carrying a torch, and looking ahead, you can see that there is up ahead there are double doors of beaten bronze that look to have been worked to resemble a forest of seaweed. As at the northern end of this hallway.
Door. Oh.
Door.
Wait, are there any traps down the hallway?
Oh yeah. Are there any traps?
Give me a perception check with advantage from Narkissa, because you are a dungeon delver.
18.
18. Looks clear.
All right, we're good to go.
I'm kicking off.
I'm just gonna stick close to Pebble.
Sounds good.
Is this door trapped?
I'll
I'm
say,
out of the way so that
right there, I'm gonna pause you.
you can.
So as y'all are walking down
That's
the
rude. That's nasty behavior.
it's real mean behavior. It's real shit of me. As y'all are walking down this hallway, you eventually Pebble, Saoirse, and Narkissa sort of making a beeline for the door up ahead. You feel the floor sort of like as a pressure plate beneath you is lowered into the floor, and some of those bamboo logs behind you just fly out to fill the hallway and like bop y'all right in the back. So this is going to be a little bit of damage.
Rude.
So to Narkissa,
Spank
Pebble, and
and
Saoirse, little bamboo spank. You get 7 points of bludgeoning damage as you are spanked all down. If you were not already heading that way, it immediately spanks you down into the door.
Into the door.
That's
Winnie and Merrick are just holding
Yeah.
hands back here. Just let them do their thing.
Yeah, we're
And-
like, oh no, we can't get through. We'll wait here for you.
And Winnie and Saoirse, you
Can
are.
we get through the bamboo wall now?
I was gonna, or Winnie and Merrick, you can, like, it is blocking your path. Like, it is a very tight knit wall in front of you now.
No, it's not. As Merrick takes out the great axe and just, for the first time, just blacks through it.
Okay, give me a strength check.
Absolutely. That is a 19.
19. Okay. First hack, like it's like scraping down the stone. It's not quite strong enough to like completely cut through, but you're doing some work. You can go ahead and make another strength check if you'd like.
Yeah. That's a nat 20 for
Nice.
23.
Can you roll me percentile dice, please?
Yes.
I love this dungeon so much.
72.
72. Okay. This is a heavier whack, and you are able to like slice through enough of this like stonework. You can see it like crumbling to the side. This is the bamboo has been made mostly of that like stucco over a core of stone, so it's a little bit easier to like crunch it away and like start pushing it to where you and Winnie can at least squeeze through.
Well, if I can squeeze through, Winnie can just fly easily.
Yeah, exactly. Winnie can just.
It's
but
just
I say
after
more.
you.
Winnie squeezes through, and then Mirek, you just sort of like muscle mommy side body it. Just.
Beautiful.
Yeah, you are all on the other side of this little hallway,
Hmm.
and there is a bronze door in front of you.
We're checking the door for traps.
Checking the door for traps. Make a perception check.
I knew I should have prepared detect traps, but that's that's a natural 20.
Natural 20. You are
Yeah.
you are entirely confident, superbly confident that this door is not
So
trapped.
confident.
Super
This
confident.
door, you guys, this door is totally fine.
This door has never
Okay.
been trapped, never wanted to be trapped, will never be trapped.
Never.
Beautiful. We'll
just-
stay back here and you open that up.
And but I will add, because that's a super high perception check, that you like checking the door, you hear on the other side this like
Oh, love it.
Oh,
squanchy
sounds.
mud noise.
There's glorpy noises.
There's glorpy noises.
You
Pull out my
guys,
bow and arrow.
there are
I've got
glorpy
an arrow.
noises.
Let me give
The
you
noises are glorping.
Narcissa can see, so I'm gonna give Narcissa, and for the sake of audience and everyone else, a quick flavor test of what is
No,
in this room.
no, no. I thought Mirek was moving up next to me. I'm still holding Mirek's hand, so can
Okay.
I move back if Mirek can't move forward?
No, Mirek can move forward. Mirek is right next to
Okay.
you. Here. Now
Okay.
everything.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I was busy moving the light before I could move myself.
I know. I
It's
literally
okay.
saw it. I was like, the lights moved. Mirek's about to move. I've moved. It's perfect. And then the game paused, and I was like, nah!
The pause button is traumatizing to my players. I love it. Amazing. Okay. Let me give you
Holding
just a
hands, we have to be next to each other. It doesn't work otherwise.
quick room description. This room is constructed of large stone blocks buttressed in the corners. The walls are wet and slimy, and a thin coating of mud covers most of the floor. To the east and west, there are stone doors recessed in the wall, and to the north, there is a set of stairs leading down. In the center of the chamber sits a large polished boulder amid a pile of smaller rounded rocks. The boulder is about 5 feet tall and colored brown with dark streaks and spots, and leaning against it is what appears to be like a bamboo staff. You also immediately notice that there is something moving around in the mud at the base of the boulder. It's like this lump of mud that just sort of like, and then two stalked eyes peer up from an angular shelled body, two large forelimbs. It looks like a large crayfish, but there is an unsettling intelligence in the eyes.
Well, it looks like we got company, and I think it knows that we're here. I'm gonna test to see if this door is locked or if it just pushes open.
The door just pushes open. You've already pushed
Okay.
the
Yeah, I
bronze
opened
doors
it.
open.
Oh, you opened it. Okay. I was.
let me-
I wanted
me-
to double check because sometimes I've been like, okay,
I was
let's.
confident.
I'll unhide our crayfish friend so that you can see what you're working with here. Swoop. There you go.
Oh my god, he's big.
I literally just used a picture of a crayfish. It is that, but
I
just
love that.
like
He-
big.
Mm.
He's so
Crawdads.
cute.
Um,
I don't want
Aw,
to
man.
kill him. He's adorable.
I'm hungies
Well,
now.
if he starts shit prepping the crossbow,
as you prep the crossbow and you're sort of standing at that doorway, there's this like little like just doing this little sort of like posing dance at you.
Is he a friend?
does anyone talk with animals?
Oh God. I have something. What do I have? Me, I do it. I cast
You do
speak
it.
with animals. And I fly up to above my wives, telling Mirok to stay close as I fly up.
Oh, you
Can
move the light in. That's so cool.
The little
I
guy
stage
just
whisper?
walks out.
I stage whisper across the room. Hey, little guy.
I would say as soon as Mirek moves the glow light in, the glow man starts like hovering above it. This thing just like, and you hear this like, Winnie, you hear it sort of double in your mind, where like there is like this thing is a beast, but it's also speaking a real language. And so you're hearing like this, like, at the same time as you're hearing through like beast crawfish speak, who is this? Who dares to enter the chamber of the guardian? You had better go, or I will have to discharge my sacred duty. Be off with you before I lose my temper.
I
I
love it.
translate. I
love him.
translate.
What
And
is
then-
the other language he was speaking?
This is actually so I've been debating how to treat this language in here. Clearly, the pre-made characters for when this was a competition probably had like comprehend languages somewhere on their spell sheet.
Oh yeah.
Because it uses this like completely nonsense language for the entire dungeon. And I was like, instead of that, what we're going to do is everyone roll. Let me tell you what your bonuses are. Mirek, you have a +4. Narkissa, you have a
Okay.
+6. Pebble, you have a +4. Saoirse, you have a +6. Windveer, you have a +7. Go ahead and roll with those modifiers.
9.
22.
Nice.
30, 20.
23.
Woo!
21.
Everyone but Saoirse. Saoirse's just like, whoa, talking crab. Everyone.
He's so cool.
I will say that to Saoirse, you're picking up like. Actually, maybe you rolled low because these phrases that it's using doesn't have any of that. But for everyone else, you're noticing that there is this like, it is this weird ancient dialect that kind of like feels like a predecessor to Sylvan. And it's got like loan words coming in from Giant and Primordial. And Narkissa, you're picking up that like this is one of those like languages that some of its words have been brought into Deep Speech. Deep Speech is basically a pigeon of all of the like commons of worlds that have died before. And so as more enters the like eldritch chaos of having died out, more languages get incorporated into this massive body of language that is Deep Speech. So you're able to catch enough to kind of like interpret and understand what this crawfish is saying. So for everyone that succeeded, you're able to understand. Saoirse, you could tell that you could understand. Maybe it's just the wrong words that are like it's missing something. You haven't quite
I'm
figured
missing
out
stuff.
Yeah, you haven't quite figured
Like-
out that like last piece to understand it.
Donde
Like
está el baño?
Every third word was cranberry, and you're just
Mhm.
so confused.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
We had
we're
one of those
going to-
moments where the words in that
We-
language sound like other words in my language.
Yep.
can we swear fealty to the Guardian and pretend that we're here to worship him?
Who is that? Who is that? Why are you here?
I love him so much.
We're going to change the dancing lights to the 4 and literally have them in a circle around him.
No, you attempt to mesmerize the Guardian. I will not tolerate such befuddlement.
It's just light, I say in crawfish.
light is mesmerizing. You dare? You dare obfuscate your movements to the Guardian? I shall not be tricked by such things.
No, I'm right here. And I am a little bit forward.
Why do you enter the secret space?
I look around to my wives and my -2 charisma as I about to lie to this crap. Cleaning duty. Cleaning duty from the elves in the woods above. We spoke with. Do we know what kind of where Meander was from? What their group was called? Any
No.
of that? No. Beautiful.
Oh.
I make something up and I total that. I sprinkle that on top of the lie.
Give me a deception check. I love this.
I don't want to look. Oh, okay. So I rolled a 16 -2, 14.
That's not terrible.
That's not bad.
Not terrible.
What do you make up? What is the organization
No,
that you
I-
make up?
Yeah, that we're here to do some tidying, some cleaning, some clearing out of this dungeon, as per requested by the elves above.
The elves
Yes.
above, all caps.
The hells of
Yeah.
Meander.
The elves
That-
above.
yeah.
Indeed, this is acceptable. But do not clean this place. This is my mud, sacred mud, and he just like splashes some onto his back. You shall not clean the sacred mud of the Guardian. You go away. I'm watching you. You clean there. You clean there. You clean there. You do not clean here.
What do you guard, dear great guardian?
And I will also say, passive insight. He went along with the elves above so quickly that it's like, oh, he doesn't fucking know anything either. He's been down here. He doesn't know shit. Like, it's very clear. He's got one job and he's really, really in on doing that job, but doesn't
Yeah,
know
I love
any
it.
of the context otherwise.
Does he
I
seem
love
to be
him.
circling something, guarding something?
He is circling around that big boulder with like the bamboo stick leaning up against it.
Oh,
Can I do
yeah,
another
okay.
I guard Kalkakila, the great Kalkakila. You are unworthy of being in the presence of Kalkakila, and just sloshes more mud.
We do a
One,
history
one
check
of the
on that
stalks
name.
gets mud in the eye, winces, ducks down, then pops back up clean.
We do a history check on that name.
You can, yeah.
I'm popping off a detect magic.
Okay.
I got a 2. Nope, never heard of it.
Never heard of it. No. Detect magic. Nothing is popping up as magic in here, other than the statues that are on your person.
Can I divine sense again? I really want to know if he's like some immortal being.
No. Some immortal being. Nope. No undead. No celestials, fey fiends. It's
Oh.
not been desecrated. It's
Oh,
not been
I
sanctified.
really
We're
wanted
going
him
to
to be
move.
celestial.
I really want a celestial crab.
We're going to move the dancing lights to now circle the great immortal Kalkakina.
You honor Kalkakila with your befuddlements.
And
Do we
Is it-
see where he was
is that him?
gesturing for us to move to?
It's a little bit hard. Like, you're getting this little like wedge of visibility. You can see up ahead. There's those stairs leading down, and then you do see these recessed doorways off to your left and to your right.
Okay.
I mean, I'm gonna look at what you see. You don't see shit.
wait. Yeah, I see nothing. I
Go
wait
in.
for
You
a
see a
wife.
boulder.
Yeah.
I wait for a wife or a sister to follow me before I move any further because I'm not
I'll go in.
doing that.
I
Yes.
I've got light, so.
What
Um,
is-
I can see.
Wasn't that
It's
up
like,
my
are we going
life
to that
level?
door, or those stairs? Where are we going?
Oh, but me. That's impressive. You choose.
I want to turn into a
Uh,
big crawfish.
Okay.
Oh,
What?
God,
Very
don't.
quickly. What happens when Danny steps out into the mud? Or sorry, Pebble steps out into the.
Pebble
my
steps out into
brain
the
just
mud.
saw Danny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Danny. Pebble steps out into the mud.
Yeah.
The mud is definitely like slip slidey. In terms of mechanics, if it was ever relevant, if you dashed or you tried to do like any fighting, you would have to do a dex save to avoid like falling and basically spending your turn prone at that point.
We're
Otherwise,
more
it's
worried
just
about
treated as
like
rough terrain.
depth.
Depth, it's like to Pebble, it's about like halfway up the shins. Let me see. What did I
Okay.
describe here?
They don't
Trying to make sure they
Thin,
don't.
thin coating of mud. So it's thick enough that this crab has been able to sort of like, it'll like slurp it up into the claws and like sort of dunk its back and like keep itself wetted.
Okay.
And it
so-
can kind of hide beneath it, but it's not so deep that Pebble is like gonna drown in mud. That's not gonna happen.
Well, that's what I cared about was A, is Mirror gonna step in and sink in like sinking sand?
No,
B,
you can
is
could
Pebble
feel-
going to sink?
yeah, you can feel the stonework beneath the mud. It's just that
Okay.
you're having to like galoshes through to reach the stonework, so it could go real haywire real quick if you were moving around fast in here.
Okay.
Can
So we're
Winnie
just
ask
gonna-
to be honored with sacred mud?
Persuasion check.
No! Ah! Yay! 16!
For the respect you have shown the great Kalkakila and the Guardian. Yes. Just like shovels mud up in your general direction.
Nice. I like lean back so it hopefully gets like on my legs and feet.
Okay. I'm gonna roll for the sake of roll. Yeah, it's
But it's
just
fine.
barely reaching you as you're flying there. Like
Yeah, nice. Beautiful.
I love it.
I've been honored.
it is that like it's that silty like river mud. It's the yeah.
Yes. Amazing.
Nice.
Gotta have that
Where are we
textural
going?
component to the ambiance of your dungeon.
We're going. Where did
How
it
about we
go?
go?
Oh no.
And you can see that like it's
Oh no, you're gone.
it's given you like leeway to go like to one of these exits, but it's definitely still very like I'm fucking watching you. It's just like watching your movements and making sure you stay to the outside of the chamber.
For
Okay.
some reason, I cannot move myself.
Oh, you're behind a door.
Wait,
That's
Are
why.
we going left?
Yeah, I think we're going left.
heading
I think it's like guiding us that way, so I think we should probably play it nice. Plus, if you continue to go left, you go all the way around. So, just follow the left wall
Right.
around.
Time to bash open a door.
Do it. Do I notice anything about
Is
the
this
boulder
door
itself?
locked?
Oh, sorry.
Notice anything about the boulder itself? Give me a perception check.
I know rocks.
I know
it's my
rocks.
specialty.
Genuinely, yes.
Pebble, do I know anything about the rock?
That is a dirty 20.
Dirty
Nice.
20. Yeah, I'll give you this. That's pretty cool. Looking over the rock,
I love it.
the rock, as you're like, it's getting more into the light of your torch. You're starting to like, your eyes are adjusting to the space. That bamboo staff that's leaning against it, as it's like, as those little like glowing man lights are circling around it, it's got a weird texture to it that doesn't look like regularly segmented bamboo. And as you look as to where it meets the rock, you realize that it doesn't lay against the rock, it goes into the rock. And you're realizing that like that weird texture, the boulder is so smooth, but it's got these like spots and mottlings and stripes. The boulder is likely a shell, and this looks like some sort of like crustacean leg that's coming out of the shell.
Oh. That's why he's guarding it.
But you-
Okay. I'm not gonna touch the show.
Is our door locked?
The door is not locked. Leads to the west, and you see a short hallway with stairs that lead down towards another door.
Door.
Would you like
Can-
to check for traps? I don't.
Sure.
I can't really see a whole lot. Very good.
Go on,
I will check for.
Go along your way. Leave the guardian to his business.
Well, gotta make sure
I
that.
will say.
Oh,
Can I say to the crawfish in crawfish, even though I don't understand it, for some reason, because that's how the speech of beast and leaf shit works. It's like I don't know what he's saying, but he knows what I'm.
Do you have it for beast or do you just have it for plants?
It says speech of beast and leaf.
Oh, okay, cool. So yes, you are
But
able to
I
understand
think-
him and speak to him. Yeah,
I think with plants, I can understand them
gotcha.
and they can understand me, but with
Yes.
beasts, I think it's like they can understand me, but I can't understand them.
Okay. But yeah, you could say
But
something
I'm not
to
sure.
him.
I have to look at it. I will let him know that we are just making sure we will not die in the next room.
Death comes for us all, except the guardian. Too good a job.
Do good at job.
so yes, checking for traps. And did somebody say there was a quarterstaff available? I borrow that quarterstaff.
No, we're not touching that. No.
No,
I have a
I
spear.
have Mirik has a full quarterstaff strapped to her back along with all the rest of the things.
Yeah. That's what I meant. We're not
Okay.
getting the one from the Guardian. I know that we have
Oh
one
my
in our
god. Don't touch that.
No, not that one.
BRB.
No.
Fight a crab.
Listen, I
again-
know Narkissa. I know Narkissa.
Mirik
Don't
will
tell me,
have
that's
the light
history right
pass
there.
through the guardian
Mhm.
since it's not.
Yeah.
And like come out of its mouth area.
How dare you violate the guardian's beaks? Just like snaps at it.
And I think that's probably about the 1 minute mark where it disappears again.
Ha ha! Another enemy vanquished! And it like sinks below the mud, but the claws are still up.
He's so cute. My favorite NPC right. Favorite one.
We were supposed to fight this guy?
It's
No.
possible.
He's so cute. We love him.
Yes,
The-
quarterstaff is handed to Narkissa.
The dichotomy
Okay.
of NPC treatments between our game and Billy's game always gets me. This dumbass of a crab, and you're like, oh, this is best, a favorite, adopt this scuttlebutt. Like anyone that Billy voices, y'all are just like, this is my mortal enemy. He has offended me greatly, and I shall pursue him to the ends of the world and destroy him. I will salt his fields. I will burn his grain. There's a hallway with stairs at the bottom. What do you do?
I
Man,
can't help it. It's a
I'm
character
going to
personal
check for
trait.
traps.
I am real. It's blowing my mind actually, y'all navigating this space, because I knew that this whole place was gonna be like pitch black, but like seeing y'all's little light bubbles like barely touch anything except for Narkissa, who's the owner with dark vision. It's genuinely terrifying. It's pretty scary. Perception check. With advantage because you got
I'm
Dungeon
just
Delver.
swinging my 10-foot pole around.
Clack, clack, clack. Do you actually have a 10-foot pole? Are you? Okay.
No, but I'm going to bring it up every time, for every session for the entire map. But
This is-
yeah, no, I don't.
This is one of those dungeons that when I was like reading it, it's like, this dungeon was written for people with 10-foot poles. This is...
It's why it just came with
20.
your character once upon a
Got
time.
a nat 20.
Nat 20. That's a lot of nat 20s on these perception checks. This hallway looks clean.
I
We are
know, I
so
guess that's what happens when I-
Perceptive today.
Everything
You
looks
get
fine.
advantage, so.
I will say that like the ambient wetness of this hallway is very similar to the room you're leaving. It's definitely a moist hallway here.
Okay, I'm gonna start kind of poking at the floorboard with the quarterstaff before I step onto things. Not
No
gonna get
pressure
fucked
plates,
over.
no signs of any of that kind of trickery in here. And the door is not locked.
Sorry, I forgot to ask, is the that amber
Still here, yes.
stuff in the air still okay?
And it was back in the other room. Until I say otherwise, That amber shit is all over the place.
Okay.
It is-
But it just doesn't seem to affect the Guardian.
The Guardian seemed to not care. Yeah.
I am so upset that we are leaving a room and I have not opened it entirely on my map because of my blind vision. And it's like,
But you are respecting the
Ooh.
Guardian.
Yes.
Respect.
We
I am
respect
I know.
the Guardian.
Warding you away.
respect, not impressed.
Amazing.
We'll be back to clean
res-
more.
Maybe
Uh,
we'll be back. You never know.
opening that door.
We might come
Narcissus-
in through another door.
Narcissus is just pressing ahead, just using that dark vision to the utmost.
Yeah,
pressing
I'm
ahead,
like,
Narcissa.
I
That was
lost
the bet-
Narcissa,
That was
guys.
the best investment. That was the best investment, man. I'm so happy. I was like, wives, may I please have tattoo? It'll grant me vision of darkness.
Entering this
We
room.
literally just like, there's like, we've put bells on Narcissa, so we're just like, okay, there we go. She's moving quick.
Move quick. Get back here, wife. This I'm reading straight from the flavor text. This room is wet, and the walls are covered with a slimy white buildup. There is about 1.5 inches of muddy water blanketing the floor. Many overturned pedestals and pieces of broken statuary lie on the floor, partially buried in the mud. Opposite the entrance to this room is another door. Only one pedestal remains standing in the northwest corner. On it sits a small metallic 3-sided pyramid, and overhead, up above on the ceiling, the shadow draped ceiling, there are inlaid colored tiles that as Pebble's light starts to move into the room, they're just catching those little bits of color that Narcissa, your gray vision dark sight doesn't see. Those colors and the colored tiles appear to be depicting a starry sky, forming really odd, bizarre patterns that seem to be like placed at like very intentional places throughout the ceiling. And one of those patterns is right above where this pedestal is.
I want tiles.
Now, Kissa, come here for just a second.
Yes,
And
yes.
I'm going to put my hands kind of like on each side of your face, and an air bubble is going to start swooshing around your head, and suddenly the gas is not a problem for you anymore for the next 24 hours.
Ooh, that's really cool.
You just seem to like want to linger and look at things, so I figured maybe it would be nice if you were not, if you could breathe. Go on.
Oh, thank you. You're my favorite sister-in-law.
I don't think I'm allowed to have favorites yet, so I'll let you know when I get there.
You're welcome to pick and choose amongst us.
There's a
Awesome,
ranking
lovely.
system. We have like images hanging on a wall back home. Station just moves them up and down depending on
Best
how she's
wife
feeling.
of the month.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We all vote and we just, yeah.
Wife of the
Love
month.
it. Absolutely.
Good way to show appreciation for the people that you know, put extra work in that month, because you know, relationships are give and take. Sometimes you have to take for the month because you're not doing well, and sometimes you got to give.
Sometimes you're giving, sometimes you're taking.
This shows you could say
All right,
anything.
I'm gonna.
It's just the context is king. Wife of the month. Fantastic here, terrible in Utah.
All right,
Love
I'm
it.
gonna zoom in, guys. Wow. Gotta wait for my token to move.
There we go. I was like, you did the engine noise and then just stayed there.
Okay.
Going over to that pedestal.
Yep.
Yeah, as you move in, you can see all this fallen statuary is made of that same like stucco that the little statues were in that little cave room that you went to. Although these look a lot more similar to the ones that were in like the creation story niche that look a little bit more outlandish, non-humanoid style, like they are gods or some sort of other mystical figure. You get to that little pillar, and there is just that silver triangular pyramid sitting there.
Gonna check it for traps.
Okay, give me a perception check. And then Pebble, I'll say that as you're illuminating more of the room with that torch, you notice that above the opposite door, above the door that's leading west, you see that there is this dark mass of green that is like just like slurped onto the wall that kind of like drips down almost over it.
Can I try to figure out what that is?
Yeah, you can give me a nature check. And then Narcissa does that investigation.
23.
Pebble, if you wanted, you could give me a survival instead, but it might give you different information. And then 23 for investigation, does not look trapped.
I'll do survival. 17.
17, it looks green and slimy, which all of your instincts are saying don't touch.
I would like to throw a pebble at it.
Okay.
I want to lick it.
Yeah.
You just chuck a pebble at it,
No
and
more licking.
it like
I don't like that. I'm just gonna point at him.
Can I come over and touch it?
I don't think you should touch it. You really shouldn't touch it.
But it looks interesting.
Yeah,
You-
but
you touch it and it is very wet, very slick, but that's about it. It feels organic.
This feels very organic. I think it might be healthy for you. Usually organic things are healthy for you, right?
I don't think that's how that works.
I mean, at a market, yes. Outside in the wilderness, no.
Can I check it? Can I check it for goodness and badness? I have many kits. I have many supplies.
I lick it.
Oh, okay.
You lick it, and it
Yep.
it tastes like river scum.
Yummy. Love it.
It tastes like that scum that sits on top of pond water after it's been left alone. But there's this like slow sizzle that starts to happen on your tongue. That's just like, nope. It's just it's not spicy so much as it is literally acidic. Not enough to do damage, but definitely enough that like, okay, touching this like weird blob. I probably don't want to soak in it, but overall it's okay just to poke it.
Okay.
I bottle it. I
It's a bit
bottle the
spicy.
green gluey liquid. Actually, can I just press the glass against like a lip, like the lid, like the lip of the glass against it first, just for a moment, see whether or not it's gonna just burn through it, or if I could actually contain it.
Give me are you doing it specifically on this like green blob that's stuck on the
Yeah.
wall, right?
That's what everyone's talking about, right?
Yeah. You put it to that. There's no like viscous flow. There's no desire for it to like flow into it. You'd have to like try and dislodge it or something to get it into the vial. But it doesn't seem to be eating away at the glass.
Okay. Does it seem to react to this more being jostled more now by Winnie?
The blob?
Yeah.
Are you jostling it, or are you just like
Winnie has definitely like pressed it a bit more than just like taking a little swipe to taste.
okay? Do.
This is my question. I want to know how much I've jostled before something bad happens, before I go just like trying to like scrape some into a fucking
What
jar.
I'm gonna say is that if you've jostled it at all, if there's been any sort of like meh, like forceful motion to it, it like
Yeah.
squanches and then like drips off and like it splashes into the ground, into that like low, shallow water. If you were standing underneath it, that probably would have hurt, would like conked you on the head a little bit.
Mhm.
But then your finger that like touched it as you like manipulated it and it sort of splashed past starts to burn. You take 1 acid damage
Okay. Ouchie.
and it's still
It's
burning.
spicy.
and put it in the water
Okay.
and give it a swirl.
Okay, you give it a solid swirl around in the water. You see that like white coating that's on the wall start to like flake off and like wash off of your skin, and there's just that like it almost burnt again, but you're able to like wash it off. There is
Okay.
definitely something like on the wall that started to burn your skin as soon as you touched it.
Well, it's a bit thicker than I want to be able to put it in a vial, so I think I'm just gonna leave it then.
Right. Would you like me to cut a piece off for you, my love?
Would that help put it in the vial
Maybe.
with you?
Depends. I'd say there'd have to be a survival check. But real quick, let me revisit Narkissa. What are you doing with
Yes.
this untrapped pyramid?
I am taking the pyramid, and then I'm gonna climb onto the pedestal and take the tiles.
Okay. Out of curiosity, where do you keep that moonstone that you have?
In my
Oh,
little, there's like a little side bag that she has. Oh no, no!
you're back.
Oh, you're good.
Hello?
You're back.
Okay, so there's like a little pouch that she has. That's like one of those little hip pouches. That's where she keeps the moonstone.
Okay. Are you putting the pyramid away kind of in the same pouch or a different pouch?
Same pouch.
Okay. Once
That's
you
the key
put it
pouch.
once you put it in that pouch, you see that moonstone start to glow.
Well, alrighty. That's a very interesting
Is Narcissa's
reaction.
pouch glowing now?
Attach it to my head. And Winnie just like flies at you forehead first.
Okay, hold still. Hold still. Just gonna hold
Put
the
it near my
pyramid up to Winnie's forehead.
The pyramid?
Yeah.
Double check.
I just want it to glow. Don't make me have a brain aneurysm. Stop it, Fabio.
You're just doing actions. I am the neutral arbiter. Don't blame me. Blame book.
Since when has this moonstone got mechanics?
I'm sorry, I had a moonstone, mechanical moonstone for a bit now.
Winnie, your moonstone doesn't glow, but you feel like an intense itchiness in your forehead. It's like it's like an uncomfortable static. It's like that turtleneck feel, like a wool turtleneck, like just being strangled by a really scratchy, weak man. That's the kind of feeling that you're getting in that
Nice.
little
I give
moonstone
myself
pocket.
like a literal scratch on the forehead, probably a bit too hard, but not hard enough to break skin, but enough that there's like literal red scratch marks in her pale white skin now.
Alright, let's just take that away. I'll put
That's
it back
just
in my
That was just itchy. Let's not do that.
and
again.
based on where y'all are standing on the map, I will say that Saoirse and Pebble, you both felt this sort of like all over itch as well. Saoirse, you had a pretty intense reaction. It was like, is the water itching me? Like it was gnarly. Pebble, it was like the tingles of like on a sleep limb, but very, very light, not too bad.
Where did you get your moonstone from, Narkissa?
This moonstone was from a previous exhibition that I was on with an ex of mine. He was going to sell it, but I said no,
Is it?
and then I
does it
took
have
it and
some
ran.
sort of connection
the-
with this place, then I guess.
I feel like it might. I mean, the crazy thing about this is that it glows under moonlight. That's kind of the special thing about this moonstone and why I wanted to keep it.
Ah. So is the pyramid giving off moonlight?
It's not giving off any light. I will say that there's small bits of writing carved into it and also on the pedestal. If you wanted to try and translate, that would be with those modifiers I gave you earlier. So Narkissa, if you wanted to do, where was that?
You said +6 for me.
+6 for Narkissa, yes, and Saoirse +6 as well.
That's much better. 21.
21.
Yeah, 21 here too.
Very nice. Both of
Please
you.
stop.
This one's a little bit more difficult. Saoirse, you're noticing that the way this language is structured, it has the same grammatical structure as Druidic, but then it has all of those like pieces of other languages that you're somewhat familiar with. So you're able to piece them together. Narkissa, you're leaning a lot on that deep speech. This one is specifically talking about, it takes a bit to like figure out, oh, this is a proper noun. We pronounce this like phonetically. A man, these words, I'm gonna do my best. Apoka to kill. Apoka te kill. I put the emphasis on the wrong syllable. Apoka te kill, who is
That's
the
okay.
god of moon and lightning.
Oh,
Or at least was a god of moon and lightning. You've never heard that name mentioned in any sort of current world pantheon. You've not read about it in any of Papa's books. Narkissa, you've never heard of this, but it's written here, and it's clear. It clearly has some sort of like moon-aligned property, being that it is triggering that moonstone.
All right.
Could I, Narkissa,
Mhm.
could I keep the pyramid in my bag?
Sure. This way I'm probably not glowing. Probably a good idea. And you sure
I
it doesn't? Does it react to you in any way, like it did with?
Oh, perhaps.
Maybe?
I mean, I was itchy about it, but if I put it in my bag, is it still itchy, or are we okay?
There's a slight, there's an itchiness. There's a discomfort with its presence.
I'm so interested in it, though.
Xander's gonna be so upset.
Mom.
Just
Well,
first, I want to just attempt something really quick. I'm just gonna see if like the pyramid and the moonstone like fit in some way.
Oh yeah. No, there's no gaps in the pyramid. There's no like place to slot it in. It's just a very nice like hunk of silver with small engravings in it.
Okay. You just see Narkissa just going like clank, 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 clank. Okay,
you
that's
hear
not working.
Narkissa and Saoirse whispering weird letters to each other. No, I think it's Apo. Apo.
The head shake of disappointment from Mirik and Pebble can be like physically felt. As they're like, why are we touching things we're not supposed to?
Why are we taking them?
Are we archaeologists or are we like
Robert,
It belongs to the museum.
Wait,
we're cleaning. Excuse, we're just cleaning the stone off of the pedestal.
that was
Oh,
a
no.
lie.
well,
He just lied.
would you?
Don't say that when the crowd is still
we were
You lied.
we
to
were
the Guardian.
cleaning and clearing. I said cleaning and clearing. If you review the tape, I used the word clearing.
Mm. All right, forgot another technicality.
That's fine for you.
None of that
what
was
were you
fucking
saying?
canon. I just wanted to make a joke.
No, I was trying to think of how to phrase words because I want to ask for the smart lady's help. You know, I'm like, well, you see, the mother is the moon, so the moon is like my mother, and this says that it's like a moon god. So I'm very curious about it.
Is there not a way of studying it without removing it from its location?
Well, I don't really want to spend much time in here. Personally. It's a bit gloopy.
It is, but is that not why, Narkissa, you take your drawings?
Well, I take my drawings, but it's important to also have the actual artifact itself. Besides, if this
What if
is
it does
reacting to my
something?
moonstone, then I'm pretty sure this is gonna be useful later in the dungeon.
I just know
Said
Papa
every
would know
British
more about it.
archaeologist ever. What do you think?
I should start speaking in a British accent. Why there, governor?
Oh, I got that.
We're just gonna take this.
Oh.
Oh, we found it.
Session
Fuck that
0
Meander
No
guy.
country.
Fuck that Meander guy. I'm vengeful at this point.
Look.
If they didn't want it to
I'm
be found, they
searching.
shouldn't have hidden it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, they should have kept it. They should have
Heart
kept
is
it.
very smart, so he might be able to like.
I understand the wish of studying. I do, by all means. However, some things are meant to be sacred and remain untouched when they are studied.
I mean, what if somebody broke into your room and took all your stuff and was like, well, I found it and you were.
I
Yeah, that
promise
sounds
you,
like
Pebble,
my ex.
if someone comes and says, this was my room, you took my things, we will give it back.
Yeah.
Okay?
Exactly.
Plus,
If somebody says
what if
something
it-
about it.
what if it fits into a slot in a door and then we've just put it where it belongs?
Mhm.
Perhaps we should focus on the task of actually finding our way through rather than collecting trinkets.
But we've made the point that this trinket might help us get through. At
In
some
which
point.
case we could return for it.
That takes more time.
I don't
I
believe
don't
we
think
are
we're gonna-
bereft of time.
Aren't we in a
We're
poisonous
all
gas
set.
chamber?
We might have to vote.
I don't think we're gonna win. Just do it.
I have no intention of winning. I have only need to voice my disappointment. And Merrick will leave the room with that.
Or opening the
Magic.
door.
Look,
Mom's
she might be an
disappointed.
inquisitor, but they only take the dangerous things.
I'm an archaeologist. We go for everything.
Like, forever.
If it's not nailed down, then it's coming along.
There is a
I just am
meta-narrative.
looking for answers.
Oopsie
would think-
daisy.
Whoops.
I'll leave the tiles on the ceiling.
Wait,
I was gonna
we're-
ask
I
if
thought
you
we were
wanted
going
to
this way.
Closed.
Look at the tiles.
I was like,
Can
no,
I
no,
get the
across
tiles?
the room. Merrick.
Wrong way. I know you're making a point, but there's another door.
He just turns around and goes for that.
Did you start going back to the crab shrimp thing?
She was gonna narc on us.
I have a alluring personality.
I don't know if you care, dude, but they're stealing stuff.
What?
We're clearing the room.
Oh, clean your clocks.
So about those ceiling tiles, can I get those too?
You reach up and touch them, and you immediately feel that that mixture of chalkiness and slime, and your hands start to burn. You take 1 acid damage.
Do I get a ceiling tile though?
You were only able to start working on it. The ones that are still up there are they're well mortared in. They're well done. Do you want to try and peel them off?
No. I don't
Okay.
need my wife even more disappointed in me by trying to rip the ceiling apart.
The disappointment deepens.
Look,
Here
taking
pokes her
books-
head back in.
Taking books and stuff like that, books are meant to be read.
Mm-hmm.
There is a difference. Books are meant to be read. They record the histories. Taking sacred artifacts, if they are not dangerous.
During
We
that
don't know if it's dangerous or not.
during that
We
speech,
just don't
and as
react to the
Narkissa
mood.
gestures, she ow, another point of acid damage, Narkissa.
Ow.
And you look at your hand, and there is that white slimy substance on your hand.
Wash it, Narkissa. Wash it in. And I fly over, grab her hand, and
Gonna-
dip it into the water.
You are able to wash it off.
Whoosh, 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 whoosh. All right, let's open this door.
Let's go.
You did open the door and you closed it. Yeah.
They'll open it and your kiss is like, bam.
I believe it. Also. Let's open the door. Narkissa closes it and then reopens it. I opened it.
Wow.
Amazing.
That's I was listening to something the other day, and they said so someone Oh fuck, it's alright. It's not even worth me explaining because I can't help but over-explain everything I fucking do. Ignore me. I'll tell you all later.
Haley, I love you. You're all good.
Okay.
You're great.
That was amazing. Haley, I want you to know the amount of times I've started a story and then had that exact fucking like string of sentences fly through my head, and I was like, I'm already 2 minutes in. There's only 4 minutes left. I'm not off ramping. I'm gonna stick to it.
Literally.
Entering this hallway, the walls and ceiling of this hallway are coated with slime. You guessed it, more slime. And the floor of the passage is covered with a layer of mud. Though through this muck, there is a steady stream of water trickling out of the room that you're in and then bending northward. So it feels like there's like water dripping in pretty large portions to that room you just left, and then it's flowing out down this hallway. The stucco on the walls in this hallway is starting to flake off, and you actually notice that there are glowing silver tracks in the slime that are like crisscrossing along the walls and ceiling. Along the east wall of this passage, there stands a... What tomfoolery is happening over there? What did I miss? What did I miss on the map?
Everyone keeps pressing the door by accident, but then they go to unlock it and someone else has already pressed it, and so like it just keeps.
It's just me and Red.
It's just
It's just us fighting over the door.
I was just trying to get the light through. You're not allowed to go in any further.
I know. Just why do you hate me?
I'm actually not gonna. I'm
You're
not gonna
win wife of the month at this rate.
At this rate, it's not Kissa.
Yes. Finally, my first month.
Wife of the month decided by how many stolen treasures of somebody else's country you've been able to gather.
Exactly.
I don't like
just
this
must
game.
be.
I don't like this game.
Does it help if we're
To be
lampshading
fair.
the colonialism inherent to this dungeon crawl the entire time we do it?
I like
Shall
that
I
the
make-
bad guys outweigh the good guys, and so no matter if you vote, there's always 3-2, which is just fantastic.
It's okay. Merrick's not holding your hand anymore.
So sad.
You forgot the greatest weapon of all, emotional blackmail.
That's okay.
Which would you like?
I'll
put Winnie on
Shiny
top of
what's
my
this
head.
from someone else's culture? Or physical intimacy? You
Affection.
decide.
I'll take
Oh my
both,
God.
thanks. I have many wives.
Some of whom are also filthy tomb robbers.
I'm sorry. Narcissa's hands are too busy scrounging through all of this country's things.
covered in acid.
Also
I can't help
disapproves.
that dungeons make me feral, okay? Dungeons are great.
Okay. Winnie's holding her own hand.
She's like,
No, Sisha will take Winnie and just snuggle her up.
Oh, that's cute.
There,
All right,
there is
let's
more
get through
flavor
this
text to be read,
hallway.
but you've not gone far enough down the hallway. There we go. Now
I'm done
Narcissa can
now.
at least
No,
see.
I don't feel like it. Let's just stay in that other room.
Yep.
I see a
We're so
star
scared
ball.
of this dungeon.
On
I'm
the
flying
I'm
Star
too
ball.
excited about it,
I'm
so
mad.
we're scared of it.
on the east wall of the passage, there is a 12-foot tall. That's what that little star is on the map. There's a 12-foot tall stone statue of a man outfitted in fine clothing and holding a stone tray in his raised arms. Its eyes appear to be black gemstones. The right one is drooping slightly out of socket and resting against like the stone cheek. And then from behind the left shoulder, you can see that there is protruding the hilt of a weapon, most likely a sword. The stone tray, as well as the forehead and the nose of the statue, are all chipped and slightly scratched. And I can actually show y'all a picture of what's going on here. A picture. Let's see here.
Picture.
Show players. Yeah.
Can't believe you guys are gonna make us feel guilty for taking loot out of a dungeon. This is unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Ooh, he's got.
look, if it was just like jewels
bring it
and
back.
gold, I would not care. We don't know.
What about
All right,
this-
so
what
we can
about
take
this
the
loose
jewels out of this
eyeball?
guy's eyes.
Yeah, that's fine.
I
Okay.
feel like that's not a good idea.
Gets the
This is
lock
so
picking set out. Let's go.
Actually, I was thinking about pushing it back into place first, but I felt like that was maybe a bad idea.
There is also a door
Why
at
Why
the
don't we
end
take
of
the
the hall.
sword off him first?
This actually, hold on.
Sword.
This might be nothing, but does it seem like the silver in the wall has a pattern or is leading to the statue in some
Ooh,
way?
good idea. Give me a survival check.
Uh, 18.
18. Looking at it again, you don't think that there's a rhyme or a reason necessarily, but you are noticing that like these little silver trails are all over the place and they're kind of like crisscrossing and going which way and that. And it's giving you this sensation of like a trail left by something. Like if a worm were slurping along and it was leaving like a glow trail behind it.
In the wall?
It's on the wall, it's on the floor, it's kind of all over the
Oh.
place. It's like this,
Hmm.
it's not bright enough to like illuminate the passage on its own, but it's like when you've got those glow in the dark like star and moon stickers and you put them on the walls of your bedroom.
Yeah.
It's like that, where it's like pinpoints of like glow, this silvery glow happening, but it's not bright enough to like illuminate the space.
Is it on the statue as well?
It doesn't go across the statue. You notice that it's like on the walls and like the ceiling above, like whatever it was, like moved around it.
I point that out to Mirror.
Okay.
I think that's it. It's kind of weird that I went around the statue.
Perhaps, Narcissa, you should check over the statue to ensure it's safe before we make further passage. Without disrupting it entirely.
Yeah.
Perhaps we should take the statue with us as well. Cast reduce.
I want one of those big floating discs that we can just load stuff up onto.
Tensor's floating disc.
Wouldn't that be lovely?
Don't we have a bag of holding?
Yes.
Just dump the
like-
statue in there. Just
Narcissa, what is your passive investigation? Jesus.
18.
18?
That's insane.
It looks like the best way if you were wanting to like if you were theoretically in a world where you wanted to trying to get those 2 gemstones out of the eyes and like maybe even the sword, see if that could be taken off. The best way to do that would probably be to climb the statue. It doesn't look too difficult to do that, but you do notice that like just applying even a little bit of pressure, you're noticing a slight tip that like the statue is top heavy. So if you were to climb it without being very careful, it would likely tip over.
It looks like what is this called? How do you say that word?
I'm so little and light and I can fly with my little fingies. I look at Narcissa with my big black eyes, just like,
Waddle.
Yeah, honey, would you mind helping me out with this? I might be light due to my nutritious upbringing. But I might not be light enough to not topple this thing over.
beautiful.
You can use my tools
on.
if you want to try them out.
Ooh, how fun! I'm not proficient in them. But I just pull out something that looks pretty straightforward. Something that I use in my herbalism tools to
Mhm.
like chop up something, you know, or like get like clay off of, I don't know, you know, something that is like a chisel of some sort with a point. And I go up there and I first go for the loose one.
Easy peasy.
Can I help?
You've got one of the little bits of obsidian.
Cool. I gently pass it to Narcissa because I was going to say I toss it, but then I was like, let's just not do that. So I pass that, and then I go to get out the. Actually, can I look in the first hole first?
It's just a shallow recess. There's nothing in there.
Cool. Yeah, cool. I pop out the other gemstone.
Easy enough.
Nice. Pass that over to Narkissa. And you want the sword?
Yes.
I grab onto the sword and I try and lift it up and out of the hole things.
Mhm.
But if it feels like I'm going to damage it, I do stop. I don't force it. I will. Yeah.
You start pulling, and it feels like it comes free, and it actually looks really well made. It's this long, it's basically a long sword, but it's made of laminated wood and is inset with jagged teeth of obsidian. It is exactly what Raz said in chat it is, which is why I'm going to give Saoirse a point of inspiration. It's basically a Makuethil. It is this jagged, stone-toothed sword. You also see, as you pull it out, like etched into the laminated wood, there is this warrior, this motif of like a warrior fighting these like, they look like carnivorous plants. And Saoirse, you sort of get a like a little like, that's spooky kind of vibe off of it.
Ooh.
The staff that you're holding sort of like hisses, like there's a little bit of air release from this fungal wood.
My staff does not like it.
Oh, who does like it? As I hold the sword out towards Narkissa, but also gesturing to everyone else.
Can I cast Detect Magic?
It immediately pops off as magic, and particularly there is a note of like evocation too.
What?
This has a note of
evocation
evocation magic.
I see. Oh, beautiful. Can you check the floors still? I'm just
no magic
curious.
on the floors.
Okay.
May I
I
take
look
a
around
look
with
at
my
it?
special eyes.
Give me an Arcana check, or use Identify if you have that.
No, identify.
Yo.
That is 19.
19, good enough. This Makuethil functions as like a +1 longsword, but it also has Plant Bane. It will deal an extra 2d6 damage to any plant creature that you hit with it.
I warned Saoirse and Winnie not to necessarily touch it too very much, but inform them that this does have sorcery against plants itself.
That's why it feels bad.
Should we just put it in the
I
bag of
think-
holding?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you want me to strap it with the rest of what I am wearing currently. Yes.
It's up to you.
I mean,
And I hold it out
Yeah.
to Mirik to choose what to do with it.
it might come in useful if I point out the
The carnivorous.
sure. I'm like, if those things are still in here.
Okay.
Well, maybe I can talk to the plants. We could see how it goes.
Before I disappear,
Next
yes, Mirik will add it to her inventory.
Go.
Now you're gone. I'm gonna force Mirik to hold hands with Winnie the entire time. They're just
No,
in
I
love,
refuse.
holding hands.
No, I put the kibosh on. No, you will not invalidate the consent of your wife.
You will not prefer it.
Keep your sticky claws to themselves.
I'm joking. I'm
This
joking.
is
Of
now
course.
just the narrator character of this whole dungeon,
Yeah.
and I hate it.
Well, you know, I love it. Your first NPC in a dungeon really sets the tone for the
Mhm.
entire dungeon.
It really does. Wild.
Make a look at the door.
There is a door up ahead.
Now,
no.
now it's time for
They've
door.
disappeared in the darkness.
Will it?
Fun. Mirik.
So unnerving to have people just disappear in front of your eyes while you can still see in front of you a little bit. Like,
Yeah, it's very unnerving.
The half distance on Torchlight in this dungeon is really, it's really doing stuff.
It's rude.
Alrighty, this room, it's very interesting. Let me get you some flavor text for this room. Do Where are you? Not you. No. There it is. The doors to this room are made of bronze and are tinted blue from oxidation. Just inside the doorway, you can see that it goes to the right and the left, and there are two small alcoves, although you can't quite peek around the corner to see what is in those alcoves. What you do notice is that straight ahead, there's a short hallway that ends in a descending flight of stairs that leads into a central chamber that looks completely flooded. Dark, foul pools of water cover the entire floor as two rows of massive square columns define the space. Scoot a little bit more into the room so y'all can see on stream. The crudely worked stone walls are coated with slime, and there are again all of those glowing silver lines etched across them. In the middle of the room, in the water, there is a corroded bronze brazier in the pool with two smaller broken urns nearby. Each is about 4 feet tall, but now barely poke out of the water in this flooded room. You can see that stream that's been following after you, carving through the mud, just flowing and tumbling over those steps down into this room. Most interesting is that this room is not utterly dark. The amber mist is punctuated by not just the red light of Pebble's torch from behind you, but also a much brighter silvery glow, similar to that of those little trails that you've seen throughout the previous hallway. On the east side of the room, there is this, the best you could describe it is a growth. It is large and fleshy and feels almost fuzzy at this distance. An overall greenish hue comes off of this sliming mound that shines with this pale silver light. And Narkissa, as you start to step into the room, you are seeing a little bit of that flicker of light coming from your pocket as that moonstone is starting to reflect little bits of that silvery glow coming from this room. And Narkissa, or no, Pebble and Winveer, because y'all have the highest passive perceptions, if I recall. You both hear from inside the room this like and we'll figure out what that noise is next week.
Dang it.
Dang it. We're at time.
Fucked again.
We sure are.
Mark already had to bail. Thank you so much to everybody for sticking around. Everyone at home, your lovely audience, thank you for thinning the veil. Thank you for chatting along with us as we explored the hidden shrine of Tomoa-Khan. We're in it. We're in the dungeon delve. We started. Y'all got a lot further than I thought you would, but I'm very excited. Good job avoiding some potential combats. Good job plundering all of the ill-gotten gains from these dark and twisted hallways. Good job not dying to poison straight out the gate. And I am very excited to see what happens next. I am also very excited to see what happens next tonight on TPK, Total Party Chaos, hashtag save Haley. Haley is getting out of the cage a second time today to enjoy some delightful Total Party Chaos this evening. And then tomorrow, we'll see more Tabletop Test Kitchen on our fantastic man, my mouth is just doing Tomoa-Khan. All of the like Aztec and Mayan words have just completely scrambled my mouth muscle movements. But hey, we're getting there. Tabletop Test Kitchen tomorrow, and then Wednesday, Sunset over Vengalia. Lots of exciting content. And do not forget that on our Patreon, we have some amazing polls and suggestions for y'all to be making. Figure out what I want to hear from you. What's gonna happen? What are they gonna find in this dungeon? There's some votes up for an interesting visitor that's gonna pop his head up at some point. And I want to know what's going to go on with that. You can also decide what dice Taylor is going to use for the entirety of October, along with the contents of a certain haunted house that someone here might be running in honor of the spookiest month of the year. Ooh.
You know it's my favorite month. I gotta do
I love it. I love it so much. All that and more, please follow us at Patreon, join our Discord, click our sponsors, do all of the things. And until next time, are you ready for more tales?
Always.
Always.
Yeah! Always! Here we go!
Yay!
Goodbye! Everybody, stick around for a raid. Goodbye, everybody!